That's the missing
Probably
piece of the
smart.
puzzle. Don't worry, it gets us every time. I don't even know the time I'm
Easy one to miss that one.
Mm. Ripsitters podcast is... Oh yeah, it's happening.
Yeah, I think you're talking, but I can't hear. I can hear you now. Oh,
Yeah, on the thing you can hear me and I don't I don't understand what's going on. It's the Archons. Right, anyway, yo, NoOne. It's been
what's
a long
good, dude?
time. How we doing?
I've been better, to be honest, but I mean, I'm holding up here, striving, to be honest. What about yourself?
I love the positive mentality. Yeah, I'm doing good. I just got back from a big trip in Scotland. I was driving in Scotland for like almost 2 weeks, 10 days. Did a full trip with Space Nymph and Carissa Love. Checking out all the weird. Yeah, I was checking out all the weird, like occulty, mystical spots of Scotland. Anywhere that's got a bit of folklore associated with it. It was absolutely beautiful, and we're experiencing some insanely good weather in the UK at the minute. So I'm just trying to make the most of it.
I've seen some stuff on your story, though. Well, Loch Ness, right?
Yeah, Loch Ness.
Yeah.
I tried to find him. I tried to find the monster, but the real monster is within.
Of course. From all of us.
What have you been up to? Anything
Well,
interesting?
fuck. I thought I broke my foot just last Thursday, to be honest.
What?
I just, yeah, I was playing basketball, normal thing for me at the gym and stuff. And shit just happens. I mean, you go for a rebound, oops, we trip up. Oops, I fucking twist my foot and land on the side of it. And I hear some crunching tue. So I'm like, fuck. But crazy thing is what I just go on to keep playing, score 22 points, and win us the game, bro. Just on some shit. Him. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Just what I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk after that though. But
no. How long have you been playing basketball for?
And even then, it's not like I ever played for like our team or anything like that. People said I should have tried out, but I never really like was confident that I was actually good enough. So but I mean, I play now and I'm like hooping everybody up in the gym, so I like kind of regret it.
Yeah.
But I mean, basketball is fun and stuff. I mean, my real grind is running and just
I know,
Iron Man.
Yeah,
I'd be sending you guys some stuff.
I know, I'm like, this man is literally non-stop.
I mean, we got to, bro. It's, I don't know. I mean, part of me feels like if I don't do it, it's like I have so much energy, just pent up and just like, man, I gotta get this out. It's like some type of release, just like, and just like, 6 miles for me, bro. It's like, it is what it is. I'll go with 6 miles. Like,
I feel that. I don't do running, but I do a lot of walking. Like today, I've just been on like a 5-hour walk. But it can just keep going and going and going and going. And like you say, it almost feels like I have to. If I don't do it, I feel like there's something seriously wrong with me. It's a real
mental thing, right?
yeah, it's so ingrained within my lifestyle that I can't miss a day now. It's not like I've got to get on that grind or whatever. It's like I genuinely just think it's now part of my actual being. Like it's the best part of my day. I walk and I meditate and I get insights.
1, 2, 3.
And,
One,
and you just getting fresh air. It's just it's a bit of everything. I would actually like to get into running though, because I love my walking, but I would like to take it up a notch. So might have to.
I mean, there's a ton of health benefits, especially the respiratory system, your lungs, like that, and just cardiovascular as well. I mean, our heart health. I mean, looking out in the long term.
Do you do quite a lot of hiking? Do you go hiking and stuff?
Oh yeah, I do. To be honest, around here, I'm kind of pissed in the state I'm in. It's like known for being notoriously flat, so it's not like I have like mountains by me and stuff. So I've never really gone like a big mountain climb.
What state are you in again?
I'm in Illinois, Chicagoland.
Right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Wait, can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you good.
Better than ever.
You can hear me? Okay. I'm trying to think if they can hear me or not, because I fixed it. The OBS Studio had it to where I was not connected, so I think that
I'll
might
listen
be
to
the
that
issue.
one. So.
But I still don't hear myself on the fuck. Oh no, I could hear it. Sorry, my volume was all the way down.
Oh shit.
Okay. That wasn't the problem before. It was up, but I forgot that I put it down there. So okay, I am back. We are here.
Welcome.
I think it's happening.
Welcome. I was always here, but I was fucking. I don't know why there's always so many things that go wrong. But hey, maybe that's the fun of it.
I love it. It keeps me on edge.
Yeah.
So you don't know what's gonna happen.
No.
This is what they do.
All right, your audio just got really low.
Yeah, it just dropped.
Vivek, yours is still good.
Back.
I'm
back.
Hello. Is that just my maybe that's just my headphones. Let me see here. Just probably my end.
No,
screwing
I think...
up. Because yours was pretty loud before. So yeah, just keep talking. I'm trying to fix this thing.
Hello, this is me.
Okay, that sounds better. Okay,
it's still me.
Yeah, you're good.
Okay, yeah, it just was in one ear for me. That's why I was quiet. But okay. Hello, everybody. Trip, your audio is good.
Trip
but no
Status
one
Podcast
sound weird. Okay. Well, they got. I'm talking directly into my microphone. They're in separate outputs, so I'm not surprised. So, what do you guys want to talk about?
What do you want from us? Everything.
Yeah, literally anything, everything. I'm down whatever direction. So
there's so much. It's almost been a year since our episode with someone that's NoOne.
Wow, nice. Do you check the exact date?
It was the 20th of May.
The 20th of May.
Oh, okay, yeah, your anniversary, pretty much, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was like episode 3 or 2, wasn't it?
I wanted to ask you, NoOne. What was your inspiration for starting YouTube?
Well, if we go really back, I mean, there's one creator that really stuck out to me. He's really like low key on the low end, Baby Vampire Thug. I don't know, just something and this was like back in like 2011, 2012, like really early on YouTube days, and just like I've always just kind of had like seen this appeal to like I don't know, being a personality and just like kind of just talking and connecting with people and just like over whatever I mean type of topics or gameplay, whatever it may be. Because I really started with like Call of Duty and stuff like that, uploading just like with like clans and stuff like that. And it just kind of developed over time. I always stuck with it, and I knew like I fuck with this content creation. I just want to see where it goes, and just like I like having a fan base, connecting, talking with people like that, and just like it's a lot of fun. I mean,
how do you? Oh, go on. Sorry.
No, go ahead, bro. What's the question?
How do you feel about the word fan base? Do you like using the words fans. I prefer viewers because I feel like using fans, it's like, I don't know, I feel like I'm thinking too much of myself at that point.
Well,
I'm just
technically, yeah, I mean,
that's just me.
Technically, I guess I wouldn't fuck with the word fan because it's short for fanatic, and I'm not necessarily like, I mean, fanatics, if you really think about it, it's people who are obsessed with somebody. So, I mean, I guess I
We
wouldn't
got a
necessarily
couple
choose
people
that
like
word.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They're fucking
right. So, I
insane.
mean, to some unhealthy levels, like, so.
Parasocial.
But yeah, I mean, the viewers, I mean, just people and just, want to tune in and just, like, be a part of a community like that.
I love our community. There's a lot of mutual members between all three of ours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Many people message me individually asking how either of you two boys are doing, and like, oh my god, are you mates with someone's NoOne? Are you mates with Stills and Trip? And I was like, yeah, of course, we're the boys. We're a little trio. Because if nobody knows,
we go back.
Yeah, we've got a little Snapchat group, me and the lads,
That
and
was
we
back in 2022, I think.
Yeah, right.
Or 21, maybe.
Oh my god.
I think it was 21.
How it all came about, right, was because do you know what? I can literally tell you exactly how it came about. I was sat in my tent at this festival, Bloodstock, this metal festival in 2021, and I noticed that Blurry had messaged me saying, yo, can't your fucking trip reports a sick night? And I was like, what? I turned to my ex at the time, I was like, fucking get this. Blurry's just messaged me saying that he's seen my trip reports, because obviously I'd been listening to Blurry and you two for ages, like genuinely for ages, like religiously, in bed every night, because I was addicted to trip reports, because I've always been obsessed with them. And then when obviously I discovered that there was a niche online for narrating them, I was like, this is the best thing ever. So they became my they became my little twisted audio books to get to sleep to, and especially at festivals as well, because I never get to sleep at festivals. I can't even get to sleep in my own bed. So, and so then that day after Blurry, he commented on my video, my Datura commentary video. There's a game called Datura on the PS3. It's a game about the plant Datura. I just did like a commentary on it. One of my very earliest videos when I went into the Vivek era of the channel, and he really liked it, and I couldn't believe that he'd found me. So then, lo and behold, find out that we're all sort of like in leagues with each other. And then I think it was Blurry's idea to get the Snapchat group.
Yeah, he put us all together. Yeah.
But then
I remember Blurry talking to me early on, and he was like, I'm going to try and find everybody who's like trying to do this stuff early on, and we're going to like get the community together. Like, he was really strong about that.
I know, honestly, he's integral to every single one of our journeys.
I'll forever be grateful for him.
I would really like to get him back on, but obviously he's he's a bit elusive at the moment, but I'm sure via the universe's mystical powers that we will have the Blurry episode of the Tripsitters podcast.
Yeah, he's got to get us updated on his life, man. I'm very interested to know, just for him to go full in depth, even if he has to take the most potent psychedelics to clear his mind or open his mind. And say what's been going on. Well, you don't want to give away everything that's been going on. Of course, you want to tell, unless you wanted to give your information away, but, be vague with it and say, like, hey, I've been here, I've been there, I've been doing good, I've been doing bad, I'd like to know.
Yeah, it was a serious guy. It was funny, cracked me up. And I was just so honoured, really, to be... I remember I was so nervous when... I was added to the Snapchat group of the drug tuber boys. I was like, oh my fucking god, I'm in the drug tuber chat with the boys. I actually genuinely couldn't believe it. Like, no hyperbole. It was just crazy to me, to be honest. Especially when, like, consuming your content. It wasn't just like, oh, I was doing the same thing. I was actually actively a fan of all of your stuff. So it was like I was like fangirling.
Yeah.
So bad. And I still to this day, boys. Every time I go to bed, I still listen to your reports because it's just become a part. But yeah, I actually do. It's just become. It's just so ingrained. I've got one of them brains. Even just going back to what we were talking about before, where about running and walking in our personal lives. Where if once you keep doing something over and over and over again, I'm like a creature of habit. Once I've got that habit formed, it's so hard to get rid of it. So now, like trip reports before bed, are now part of my life. So I can like experience the appeal of seriously through other people because I listen to trip reports myself. So yeah, it's I get why people love to listen to them because it really is just. It's like creepypastas for adults, isn't it? Really,
right?
Not that creepypastas aren't for adults, but they're like extreme creepypastas in a sense. But they're actually real. That's what's scary. Non-fiction creepypastas. Yeah, that's what's fucked about it.
It's just what can our reality actually be like. That's what it is. Like,
right. You just gotta strive for yourself. You know, you gotta if you like what you're doing and you want to get more, people watching, just keep on uploading, keep on doing it, and if it doesn't work out, hey, it'll come eventually. It'll be there as long as you just put out the right content. You can't put out the wrong content, that's for sure. You can't just put out like something that none of your viewers are gonna want to see. But the stuff they want to see, that's like me putting eating the fungus from The Last of Us or something. Well, maybe people would want to see that, but I don't know.
They definitely would.
Yeah, but you know what I'm saying, like stuff that wouldn't.
You can't get negative views, can you? You can't get minus 100 views. So you may as well just fucking do it. Like that's a great David Lynch quote. Is that it's like people ask someone, "Oh, how do I get started with this project?" And I don't understand. Everyone's so overwhelmed. It's like you just got to get up your butt and do it. Like literally, just do it. Like every time someone asks me about doing YouTube or whatever, I bet many. It's not even YouTube, but any sort of like creative profession or anything in general, you've literally just got to take the first step. The first step is going to be maybe whatever, I don't know, like I want to go take up knitting tomorrow. What's the first step? Going to get the equipment. Like literally just actually doing the first thing can open a whole portal into a completely new domain of interest for you.
Just do it your own way, and you don't have to get a nice mic. I mean, you're gonna need a mic, but you don't have to get a nice one to start off. It's all about the quality, because those first couple thousand subscribers I had, I forgot when I got this mic, but the old mic I had, it got the job done. It got for what it was. Like, people weren't there to listen to the mic quality. They were like, I'm sure I'll get a couple comments saying like your mic sucks or something, but like out of all the people that we're actually watching it for the videos. So, it's never, people always wonder what they need to get all this whole setup. It's like, no, dude, you just literally read a story and hope for the best, as long as you keep doing it, as long as you got your own style. Like if someone likes your voice, hey, that works out really great,
It's your from even my perspective, being literally a fan of your content and now in the same domain, I enjoyed the cadence that all. I'm going to include as well. It was the cadence, the intonation, the vibe of each one of you had a different feel to you that I enjoyed. I didn't care about the mic quality at all. Obviously, it helps, but what really got me stuck in was just the way each of you narrated and presented your own voice. And it was also great to be subscribed to you for so long and see how your narration evolved, changed, and how you experiment with different things. And you get when you consume so much of someone's voice, you start to tap into like how it's changing and you sort of like put yourself in their shoes and see that they're working on themselves. And it inspired me a lot, studying your videos. So somehow now here we are on episode 20 of the Strip Searchers podcast. Holy fuck.
Yeah, I gotta do another live stream tomorrow because of 200K, dude. That's like,
oh yeah,
huge, bro.
Dude, that's
massive.
I'm just imagining 200,000 people and just like thinking like those are real people, subscribe. It's like, damn, 200,000. If I saw like a field of 200,000 people, maybe if I was at Woodstock or something, I'd see 200,000 people. Be like, this is how many people watch. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. But hey,
you could do a Tales from the Trip Fest where it's like a festival where it's just you like reading trip reports on the stage for like 10 days straight.
You know how many times I think about like doing like live book readings, but I'm just wondering how many people would show up to that. It'd be like maybe 2 or 3 each city. But hey, that'd be pretty cool.
It could be done. Honestly, that's.
Would you guys be worried about people distributing drugs?
Well,
I mean,
I guess I would, but
it comes with the territory.
I'd probably tell them to
That's
get
a
out.
big risk, I feel like, wouldn't it be? Like, just considering, what the content is about and the people that would come up.
Yeah, no.
It might be like a safety thing, like a hazard for some.
Yeah, I would tell them to get out. I'm like, dude, don't do that here. Because I'm not even like supporting it. I'm just like showing you how to be, more.
Some people would still just fucking do it just because they want it and they just know.
Well, I won't be bringing any drugs, that's for sure.
I know.
It's good you brought that up because
that.
I imagine all of us have experienced when you're in this niche, when it's substance related, you are going to attract some very extreme individuals.
Oh, gosh.
Well, it's the worst sometimes of society when you think about it, with how wired people can get and how on edge, and literally, millions of people are losing their lives every year.
Sad.
Yes, it's heavy, man. When we really look at it.
Yeah, the people that can't. The worst ones are the young kids who are on Benadryl, and they like they'll find me on Instagram or Discord, and they'll be like they won't even be able to type the sentences, or they're on Xanax or something, like being like, dude, I'm on like 10 bars right now, bro. I love your content, bro. Dude, how do I submit my trip report even though I put it in every single description of my video? Oh well.
But no, it is really wild. I just every time someone like that just gets in contact with me, I just say like, "Yo, you seriously need to consult a medical professional because I am literally just a man on the internet. Like, I have absolutely no idea what I'm doing. Please, for the love of God, let my message be the inspiration for you to go to get actual help." And sometimes I like to give people just a bit of brutal love, because I think obviously these people just want love, don't they? They want to reach out. They want some validation. Obviously, very hurt and traumatized. Yeah. But I'm not your savior. Your real savior is a literal medical practitioner, someone who's got credentials. But people, sometimes we're scared of going to see a health.
Right. It's ultimately yourself that has to make the decision and the ability to actually put yourself in that situation.
Can I share a DM I got that was really cool that I got I think it was 2 days ago.
Sure.
So it says, "Hey brother, thank you so much for being a YouTuber who realistically explores the horrors of nicotine. I've been a pretty heavy vape/cigarette user for the past 8 months and recently turned 20. I watched your video on the horrors of nicotine addiction and realized I saw myself in a few of the tales. When I finished the video, I looked closely at my fingers and realized they had begun that sickly yellowing, and noticed just how much my fucking teeth hurt all the time. I've decided to fully quit nicotine. I chucked out everything into the nastiest bin I could find, bought some juice, chocolate, and frozen fruit, and I'm going cold turkey. Thank you, brother." That's like, I love it when I get a DM like that. That is just like, oh,
that's exceptional.
Videos that actually stop people from doing a terrible addiction. Like that's awesome. I don't know if he's gonna be able to stay, but the fact that he stopped because of it, like, shout out that guy. I love getting DMs like that.
You got the thought in his mind, and some motivation going. That's what's important.
Right. I'm happy about that. That's so cool because that's what I try to do. Try to get people to stop doing these things or be safer with them.
You've
real consequences.
Yeah.
You've definitely found a nice niche.
A niche inside of a niche.
With you've carved out a niche within the niche of I don't really know how to describe, but very much sort of like fringe type substances, like the OTCs, the gasoline, the nicotine, like stuff that people know is bad. Like, oh, no one's gonna. Everybody knows that huffing butane is bad, but nobody knows just how bad it gets.
Right.
And how not just how bad it gets, but how twisted the experience can be, and it is deeply fascinating. And I can see why people have gravitated towards that and why that's blown up on your end, because it's just untouched material, isn't it? Like, people don't have any idea of just how deep the rabbit hole goes with that sort of stuff.
Yeah, and then I just did
some real crackhead shit, right?
Yeah, I just did a Modium trip report a couple weeks ago, but I noticed that that NoOne did a video recently that was citalopram. I was like, there you go, man. That's a good one right there. Because I don't think I've done. I think I might have done one Celexa report before, but hey, that's what it's cool that you're not just doing psychedelics and stuff, that you could branch out, and because Vivek, you are the psychedelic YouTuber up here, because you also have you do talks about psychedelics and weed and stuff, but like me and someone that's known, we're kind of like we're all over the place, but you focus on that. And someone that's known,
I'd say mine is like more base psychonautics, like all around psychonautics.
Yeah, you do good and bad. So I just strictly do bad. You do good and bad, and Vivek, you do psychedelic, good and bad. But
I think for me, it's very much about hallucinogenic experiences that veer into like mystical states.
Yeah.
Like mine's on the mystical end of stuff, sort of the woo woo, airy fairy, new agey stuff. Yeah, but I'm just looking at my phone now. I'm trying to find the video that made me discover both of you boys. I think I discovered someone that's NoOne through your DXM videos. That was it. Because I had no idea what that substance was. Being in the UK, DXM is just not a thing at all, because obviously our dissociative of choice is ketamine, and that's basically people have that for breakfast in the UK. So DXM is just an afterthought. But it's interesting because now I've realised that I've actually been having DXM my whole life. Not whole life, but I've had it in moments during life. It's called Night Nurse. It's like a cough syrup. And it does have dextromethorphan in very, very low amounts. And I remember it was like entering the second plateau, dextromethorphan and cannabis trip report by someone that's NoOne in 2019. And I remember I was sat in my car with my friends. Interestingly, this was just before COVID hit as well. And we'd sit in my car and smoke weed. Don't do that at home, kids, or don't do that in car. Don't do that anymore. Completely. I don't do any of that bad shit. But I was sat in the car and I was parked up, and we was all listening to it, and they had no idea what it was, and I was like, "Whoa! I found this fucking crazy YouTuber, someone that's known, and he covers this stuff called DXM." And because we all knew about ketamine and how crazy that was, when we found out about that, it just blew our minds. I was like, "Oh my god, there's a whole other world to it." And then I just started exploring all of the substances, and I bet for you boys as well, like, as much as I enjoy giving the content to the people, I also enjoy making it myself, because I'm learning about so many different substances that I had no idea even existed, like the amount of different dissociatives there are, and psychedelics and delirium.
That's the crazy part too. I mean, we got more research chemicals every day being made.
Yep, there's a lot of research chemical stories online. I think on my channel I have like 30 something together, or 60. I forgot how many I have, but I have a whole thing for it. So yeah, those will never go away, and there'll always be bigger ones that are worse. Just yeah.
In regards to DXM though, there seems to be a very big market for drug users in America to pursue.
Oh, it's so
like
easy.
over-the-counter type
So
hallucinatory experiences, because our pharmacies in the UK do not supply the sort of stuff that I hear people getting on over there.
Yeah, the RoboCop marketing is ridiculous. There's like a back to school with the school bus. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh my god, I don't think I saw that part, but I'm sure.
Right. Some of the marketing looks trippy. Like, there's no way they don't know. Like,
Vivek.
Really? That's bad.
You know what's how much milligrams are in there, Vivek?
No, go on.
30 milligrams per pill.
Fuck.
For a little damn pill, and they give you 100 of them.
Oh, so
and they're
pills
$20
as well, because that. So they basically just want you to trip balls.
Yeah. You should read the reviews. Like, some people actually try it for sickness. They're like, it didn't even fucking work. I was like seeing
and you can get them just in a drugstore or
on
a pharmacy.
Amazon.
Yeah,
on Amazon.
Yeah, I know.
On Amazon
for sure. Yep.
Fucking hell.
Yeah, I don't. Think
I made a first time trying video on it a while back when it first dropped, like in 2020, 2021.
Have you two both had dates?
Yeah, I have a ton.
What was your what are your craziest experiences that you can remember? I think we've talked about it before, but just remind me.
Well, you want to go first?
The exact dose for me is like, there's two trips that kind of stand out. I took 2 bottles of Delsum and
oh my gosh.
Yeah, plus 600 milligrams of the Joe caps.
Jesus.
And what I ego death off of that. That was the first time I ego death. Like, and I didn't even know what was happening. Like, I wasn't ready for it like that. But
if nobody knows how many milligrams it is, it's a lot, and that's like your fifth plateauing, aren't you? Is that you reached that, or the fourth plateau at least?
I think technically it's the fourth plateau with that dosage. It's just hard to say because what Delsum's technically extended release, and just like the dosing is like, it's a little different and the come up's a little different. But I mean, it's fucking smacking, bro. Like, it's fucking smacking.
Damn. That is crazy. That is, I when I was on 300 milligrams of it, I was like, dude, I wonder what it'd be like to take like 1,500 milligrams. And then I decided to go up to 450, and that's when I stopped doing DXM because it affected me so much. I felt like I was going to have a seizure. I had to go to the hospital a couple days later because I had a huge panic attack where I thought I was going to die. Like, I actually, like, it didn't feel like a panic attack though. It felt like I was actually going to die. When I was walking, I couldn't, like, my heart would beat so fast. I had to leave work as soon as I got to work, basically.
This dude was working?
No, I mean, it was a couple days after I did it.
Oh, shit, okay, yeah, just from the residual, okay.
Yeah, it was like 3
that's
days
what happened
later.
to my friend, too, because we first did 300 milligrams our first time, and he was kind of chilling off of it. We were kind of like, it's kind of like weed and the dissociation to it also. But when we did we upped it the next time to 450. I mean, it straight felt like I was rolling hard off Molly like that. And I was fucking with it, but he was, having a panic attack and describing what you were saying.
Dude, it's scary. It's scary. I couldn't, like, I thought, it felt like how when I did ketamine over the summer, when my heart just started beating really fast, and I thought of Matthew Perry. I'm like, dude, am I going to be the next one? They're going to find me dead in this Utah hotel room. It was bad. I don't like. I mean, if dissociatives worked well for me, I would love to do them, but they don't mix well with my brain at all. So I can't do them anymore.
I think a lot of people just aren't used to it, right?
Yep, it's very different from other types of substances, and they can put a lot of stress on your central nervous system, and some people might actually be more susceptible to physical danger from taking them the way their bodies are wired
especially
up.
with DXM, since it works on your serotonin system hard.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I take.
That's why I said I felt like I was rolling off Molly. Like music would be straight up fucking banging. Like,
oh, music sounds
Yeah.
amazing on it. Oh my god.
yeah.
That's like the best. That's why I continue to do it.
The intrigue on my end is very real. I also recognize how addicted I was to Spaghettimine, and I don't know whether it's a good idea, but it's like I also have this other thought where I'm like, I can't actually realistically see myself getting addicted to like drinking cough syrup. Like I could I feel like I know myself well enough to be like, right, I could just do that as a one-time thing, but I wouldn't. Maybe if I was going to do it, I wouldn't do it in that form. Is that I imagine doing it in a pill. Is it pill? Is them the robo tablets? Are they pills?
Yeah.
Yeah. I imagine that's the better way to do them.
Yeah, I'd like to know how much money they make.
Probably millions, tens of millions, I bet.
According to the artwork, apparently the U.S. government wants me to do them, so maybe I need to do it. I'm also, I was going to say, just, a little side note. I'm definitely going to come over to the U.S. next year.
Ooh.
So I would love to meet up with both of you boys, or we could all meet in one place, perhaps. Maybe meet in the middle. After driving through Scotland the other week, I just realised, I had this insight. I was like, right, I can literally basically do anything, like within reason, within financial reason. And I was like, oh, I'd love to go driving around America. And it's always been one of my dreams to do that, and I feel like I'm ready to do so. Even though it'll be a lot of driving.
Yeah, America's huge.
Very small island, but
yeah, I compare. Yeah, insane.
Yeah.
I had to drive through Pennsylvania to get. Oh, sorry, I had to go through Pennsylvania to get to New York City in February, and it was. Oh my god! I got to do that again. I'm going to New Jersey in July. But man, that drive is forever. If you see how big Pennsylvania is, it's just like once you get there, I had to go through Youngstown in Ohio. Once I passed Youngstown, it's basically in PA, and it was like 371 miles till you get to the next freeway. I'm like, oh my god, I'm not even gonna get there.
Yep.
It's far, man.
That's mental because obviously in the UK we don't know how good we actually have it. Just the distance between everywhere. And other day on the last day of the trip, when I drove from Inverness to Durham and to Lancaster, that took about 8 hours or something. That was probably like the longest I've driven in my entire life. And I just had it thought in the back of my head. I was like, oh well, if I'd lived in the US, that would actually be nothing. That would be nothingness. If I drove for 8 hours, I'd barely even make it to another state, depending on where I was. So it's made me so grateful for how small my own country is and how accessible everything is. But also sparked a little bit of a road trip fantasy in my mind where I was like, okay, when I was driving around Scotland, I realised how unbothered I am about driving long distances because I find it quite meditative.
How long was the drive?
I mean, every day I literally drove. I'll tell you the trip we took. So me, Space Nymph, and Carissa Love, and Carissa's boyfriend Caleb went on a journey throughout Scotland. We was checking out the Beltane Festival in Edinburgh, going up to Isle of Skye, or checking out all the best parts of Scotland, really, especially interlinked with folklore and mysticism and all the spooky weird shit that the UK produces. And so I went for Edinburgh, then I went to Glasgow, then I went to Helensburgh, then I went to Appin, then I went to Isle of Skye, and then I went to Inverness, and then I went back, which doesn't sound like many places, but I was every single day I was at least driving 5 hours a day. And to be honest, I loved it because when you're driving around and seeing so much beautiful nature spots and driving through these insanely breathtaking just vistas, you don't really care about the time you're driving. But I imagine it probably isn't as fun driving on a road in America of one straight road when it's really flat for like 5 hours. So maybe I might change my mind if I did that.
Yeah, Pennsylvania.
Farmland for days, right?
Yeah.
We don't have anything like that really. You get little glimpses of it, little glimpses. When I was in Scotland, I was going down this road because those three are from California. Carissa and Caleb, they're originally from Florida, and they've moved to California, but they had to drive from Florida to get to California. So imagine that was pretty crazy. And it was cool. They was giving me a lot of insights into how it is driving around the US. And there was this one moment when I was driving in Scotland. I was going on this road for quite a long time. It was just this long, really long road. Everywhere was flat, and it went on for about 30 minutes. And I was like, "Oh shit! Times this by 20, and I guess you've got what it feels like to drive across the United States." But in a sense, I don't know if I would find that even though it would be boring, I'd sort of find it quite relaxing. I guess it put me into a flow state, especially if you've got like good music on and you just...
It gets tiring really quick.
I love driving.
You say
but maybe after 8 to 10 hours, you're gonna be like, I want to chill.
I'll probably take it all back.
Yeah, I had to drive from Boston back, just full on straight, and then another year I drove from New Orleans back up here to Cleveland back. That was almost 24 hours to get back up there straight, and then Boston was 10 hours. And dude, it is a drag, because if you're driving through, because you're just basically looking at trees and stuff. Like Pennsylvania has like mountains, but they don't look like mountains. They're just tree covered mountains. So it gets very boring. And then there's everything off the exits are gas stations, maybe a convenience store. Nothing exciting on the way there. But like if there's exciting stuff, like I feel like the West Coast would be more fun to drive through because it's really beautiful out there, like Arizona and Utah, parts of California.
Mm-hmm.
That's where I probably wouldn't mind driving from. But over here, Ohio, Indiana, Illinois, no offense, Pennsylvania, New York, it's all boring. That really is.
I really feel like it has to do with it, just because it's so fun.
Yeah, I think I'm 6
hours. That's probably why I enjoy driving so much in the UK, or at least Scotland, because going through the Highlands, there was something fascinating around every single corner. 1 minute, there's the Harry Potter train, then there's Ben Nevis, then there's Fairy Glen and Stornoway. Because it's so compact, because the island is so compact, your dopamine receptors are flaring up every other 10 minutes, so it kept me excited. So I didn't really mind the drive, but yeah, possibly would go a bit crazy. But I'm up for going a bit crazy, and looping it back around. I'm definitely going to do it. So I really feel like the next step of our Tripsitters podcast evolution would be we could maybe even link up in real life and do it in real life, doing an on camera podcast. Maybe that would be cool.
That'd be crazy.
Yeah, that would be legendary. That would go down once of the ages.
All wear masks or something. We could all wear little masks of our avatars or something, even though we all know what we look like. But we're slightly anonymous, aren't we?
I'm still trying to be private on here, so I'd probably wear something. I don't care. If you guys. I mean, I send photos of myself.
I'll be the cameraman, right?
Yeah, I'll be the cameraman. I'll talk from there. But privacy means a lot to me on here, so I would definitely have.
I think that's fair enough.
Yeah, it's just you never know with people on the internet.
But I also like that your channel's got like, I don't know, it's got like the mystique, like Tales from the Trip, the icon, the skull. It's like, what is a skull? It's like everybody. It embodies everybody. The human skull. It's it's everything and nothing at once, and then. It's interesting.
Yeah, it's conscious.
So basically, you could just get dressed up as a skeleton. We could dress you up as a spooky, scary skeleton.
There you go.
I'll just wear my baklava. I think that might be better. Oh man. But if you do come here, go to New York City. I think that's a great option because I was just there, man. You could do you. There is so much to do out there. It is crazy.
You're lucky, bro.
I'll
What'd you say?
probably start.
Oh, I said you're lucky. I was supposed to go last
Oh,
year.
okay.
I was on the plane and everything, but my flight got canceled
Oh my gosh.
because of weather delays and shit. So it was just some bullshit, and fucking replanned it.
Damn. Well, you're planning for next year. Let's go. Let's all go.
Fuck it, right?
It's interesting for me because there's so much of a psychedelic culture in the US. There is in the UK, of course, but there's lots of conventions, isn't there? Especially in Colorado, I believe there's a lot of the psychedelic
There's a psychedelic
culture there in
conference.
Oregon.
Yeah, going up there.
Mhm.
That could be a great port of call for us if we wanted to meet up somewhere. Definitely on the pipeline. Although I must say, have to see how things do go in America the next few years. Who knows what could actually go down?
Yeah, we'll be gone by then. We'll be gone.
They're taking over.
I think we got another good 10 to 15 years before anything serious happens.
Oh yeah, so I may as well do it now. I may as well do it next year because it's only the build up now, isn't it? I may as well do it in the build up to what before anything actually explodes. So I best start looking at VW camper vans on eBay very soon. It's got to be a classic hippie VW camper van if you're driving around the US.
Do you know the app? You know the app Turo, Turo?
Nah, I've not heard of that.
Okay, so it is basically a rent-a-car service that regular people give out their cars. It's a lot cheaper than it is to get some from Enterprise or Hertz. I'm paying $290 for my trip to Detroit. I'm seeing SZA and Kendrick Lamar there, and my car recently broke down a little bit, so I don't want to drive it anywhere far. So I spent $291. It was originally like $180, but I got the full protection plan for $100 more. So if there's damage or theft, you know how Detroit, you never know what's gonna happen. I had a great time in Detroit last time I went, but you never know. You hear a lot of stories. But yeah, so if anything happens to the car, I won't be liable for it. Because there's other insurance plans where you can get it, you pay it $500, and then there's one you pay $3,000 if something happens. So I'm like, I'd rather spend $100 now. If nothing happens, that's great, but I'd rather just have it safe. But yeah, it's if you come over here, I would download that app and see,
Yeah,
I'm sure if you go to a big city, there'll be a Volkswagen Beetle or something available. Because so.
It'll just be a bit weird for me because you guys drive on the right side of the road, and for some reason we decided to be the edgy kids and drive on the left. So that would be a bit strange, but I'm sure I would get used. I'm sure I'd get used to it after a bit, and the minute I got used to it, I'd be like, okay, right now I can drive anywhere. So
because I used to drive the mail truck, so I drive the regular ProMaster right now. It's like a van that's on the left side, but the old mail trucks, those were right side vehicles, and it was weird for the first couple days, but I got used to it. So
Like riding a bike.
Yeah. Innit?
Just reverse.
Just like with anything, you just gotta fucking do it. It's gonna feel weird at first, and everything feels weird at first. A new hobby, doing anything, facing your fears, and then as you acclimate to it, you start to reflect and realize, oh wow, why was I ever afraid of doing that, or why did I ever think I couldn't do that? I was always really scared of driving when I was younger. Not scared of driving, but I just never thought I could do it. I always devalued my own abilities. I was like, oh, there's absolutely no way I can drive. I'm literally an idiot. How can an idiot like me operate a motor vehicle? and then now I'm like, it's literally second nature. And I tell you what, one of my favorite things to do is just it's like some Ryan Gosling, literally me moment or whatever. But like, if I can't sleep, I'll just go in my car and I'll just drive around and put music on until I relax. And I think it's because on the trip, the three people I went with, I could tell that they felt really bad that I was having to drive everywhere, but I just didn't feel bad at all because I was like, this is just awesome for me because not only would the trip not be able to happen without me driving, but also just being able to explore everywhere via this fucking machine that I literally drive, and I can have tunes on my car, my favourite tunes on. It's like, fuck me, it's just a spaceship, isn't it? It's your own little spaceship that has wheels. You know it.
Yeah.
So good. I was going to ask you a question in relation to our YouTube. Where do you see your channels in the next 5 years?
You want to go, NoOne?
In 2030?
We'll see. I don't know. To be honest.
Do you have any grand
honestly,
plans?
Well, it's deeper with the psychonautics with me personally, and just exploring more and laying out more with just, I guess, I want to get more deeper into psychedelics specifically, and just higher doses, and just more documentation, more live documentation, and just helping more people, I guess. So I guess I don't really, I'm tied too much to that aspect of it, but there's other just things I just want to keep doing it. I mean, it's just every day, like, just do it, like.
Yep.
So I mean, I'm just living it. I'm not really too like concerned heavily about the future like that, but it's just like we're progressing and like we're making progress every day, and that's what matters.
Yeah, that's great.
I believe that. That's how I am. Just see what's going on, but also I got a plan for, hopefully my goal is to become an author, which I already am technically, but not a professional one. But I did get a publishing company saying they were interested in the book. So, yeah, I'm lined up for it if it goes. The first one goes through.
What's the content of the book?
So it is. I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but it's basically this. It's going to be a prisoner, a remorseless, or remorseful, or whatever, a serial killer that like has no emotion for what they did. It's just an evil person, worse than a psychopath. They get chosen.
So you're writing fiction?
Yeah, speculative fiction. I'm writing.
Oh, that's cool.
That's what's up.
Yeah, it's. So he gets injected. He gets for this government plan. It's like the CIA, and also the space company is like NASA, but they're different. They're better, more AI technology, and they send them. They work together because the space company is testing their rocket ships, and the government agency like the CIA is testing their experiments, and it works together because they want to use these human subjects, but because you can't test an AI or testing an animal might not be, you might not get the right answers you want, but they test these human subjects who have tortured people in the past, and they inject the guy with EA3167VX, and EA3167 was a real drug used in the military back in the 60s at Edgewood Arsenal. They tested it on people, and it went totally wrong, but they're going to bring it back for this. It's a 50 times more potent than the regular one, and they send him up in outer space, and basically he gets tortured up there with his mind, and he ends up, I don't want to give away the ending, but yeah, that's basically how it goes. So he gets tortured in space. Yeah.
Damn, that's got some serious elements to it. I'm already interested.
Yeah, I got all the government agencies listed. I got, I made a BlackRock type company for it. Just like real life stuff.
In space.
Yeah, that's what I'm gonna call it. No, I'm kidding. I got a great title for it though. I'm not gonna say what it is, but I got a great title, and I got some covers for it. Just ideas. I'm gonna get real. artist. I already picked this artist. So the people that submitted their artwork, I appreciate it. But the person I contacted, I'll be using theirs. So I appreciate you guys contacting me in my email if you're listening. But I did pick the one that I wanted. But thank you so much for the submissions. I really like that because I'm using AI to get like the images, but I'm not going to use AI in the final product. I want to get like the idea of what I want it to look like, and then a real artist can make the illustrations and stuff. So, yeah.
Man, that's incredible. To be honest, like, I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I never thought I would be like writing a book, but like, hey, here we are in 2025, and my life has completely changed, flipped upside down in the positive. So, hey, anything is possible.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like the last time we was on the podcast, I was in a completely different situation. I've now moved out of my parents' home after 27 years on Earth, and that's taught me so much about myself. I didn't really need to move out. I didn't really need to, but in a sense, I actually did need to because I knew it was the next stage of my life. Mm-hmm. I was gagging for some adventure. I had the hero's journey call. I knew I was stagnating at home. I had everything great for me. I had a roof over my head, good house, loving parents, but I wasn't growing, and it was time for me to throw myself into the wider world, and it's taught me so much stuff about myself and just survival, and made me really just lock in terms of finances and say like just things like cooking and cleaning and everything, which obviously I did when I lived at my parents', but not to the nth degree. I got away with a lot of stuff. You don't realise how much your parents actually help you out a lot until you move out, do you? And then just having to survive by myself. Well, not by myself, but with my housemates. It's been some of the deepest development I've had in a long time. It's really exciting. Although I must say, bloody hell, you forget how expensive life really is.
Oh my gosh, that's the worst part about it.
Fucking food, and like I'm just so hungry all the time. Like can't stop eating.
Hey mom, make
I'm
me
just
a
such
sandwich.
a skinny man.
Oh, wait.
I'm such a skinny person. Like I must have such a massive metabolism because I do like eat an insane amount of food, like all breakfast, second breakfast, luncheon, tea, and then supper, and I like just stay the same weight. So my god, if I didn't eat, I would literally shrivel into like a pube.
A pube. That's a good way to put it.
But it's taught me a lot. Taught me a lot about life. And that was where I was at 5 months ago. I was still at my parents' 5 months ago on the Trip Series podcast. We'll keep doing these regularly now, won't we? Because I think we was just all me and you we had lots going on in our personal lives, didn't we? So I feel like I'm back in action now.
I've been a lot through. I mean, especially last year, I went through a lot. It's not nothing I won't bring up here. It's some serious stuff, but
same. 2024 was terrible for me.
Was it? Was that the worst year of your life, would you say?
It's up there for sure. Yeah, for at least most of it. Now December, end of November, kind of ended on a good note, but that was the closest I've come to not wanting to live anymore. So that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, now I'm like the complete opposite. I feel really happy, positive mindsets. People. I even had my coworker. She was like, "Oh my God, you just seem so much more confident and happy. I'm so proud of you. I'm so happy for you." Because she was like, we would discuss our mental health and stuff in ways to try to get better. But like, her seeing that was like one of the nicest compliments I've ever gotten in my life. I'm like, oh, thank you so much.
Well, the darkest hour is before the dawn, isn't it?
I guess so. From dusk till dawn, baby.
We got a black pussy, vampire pussy.
Better vampire
have you watched
movie.
Yeah, have you? Oh, did you end up going to watch? Oh, you watched Sinners, didn't you? What would you rate it out of 10?
Give it like a 7. You know, it was just like before I saw it. I saw YMS's rating for it, and he gave it a 6. I'm like, it can't be a 6. If he gives it a 6, I'll probably give it like an 8 or a 9. No, it was about a 6 or 7. I'd say it was a good movie, but it wasn't anything special. Like I feel like if I was a black person, I probably would have enjoyed it more because there's a lot of elements with racism and stuff, but as a white person with a black girlfriend, I think I understand a little bit more. If I was just totally white, and if I was a racist, I probably would give it like a 2. But being in this life, I see where they're coming from, and I see
it's the woke agenda.
Yeah, that it's definitely not woke. That's what I like about it. It's definitely not woke, but there's a lot of elements that go with it. Now, I heard The Last of Us Part 2 is really woke.
Oh God.
So, that's what
oh my God! I saw a scene from that yesterday. I was on the toilet and I was just watching like scenes of it because I love the games. The games are awesome. But I knew they'd be. I knew Neil Cookman would convert it to the libtard mindset, and. Yeah, it's sad because the games are quite progressive in the way that they handle the themes of just just like progressivism, not even progressivism, but just like queer stuff in the games. It's handled very in a nuanced fashion. Like I thought the relationship between Ellie and the girl in Last of Us Part 2 is really well done. But then in the TV show, it is literally just like Twitter brain, TikTok.
Oh gosh, I know what you're
like brain rot shit.
About.
Yeah, she's like. The girl, Ellie's girlfriend, is pregnant, and then she's like, "Oh my God, I'm gonna be a dad."
Oh gosh, I cringed so hard when I saw that. My friend wants me to watch the show, but I can't.
It's how like there's the lack of self-awareness is so unfathomable. It's almost like you could make a conspiracy to say that they are actually engineering this to fuel the culture wars themselves, because how stupid can you actually be? Are they actually trying to like genuinely generate, like they must be conscious that they cannot not be cognizant of how terrible that mind is. Yeah,
they have an agenda to follow, bro.
They have an agenda.
Yeah. How did he go from The Last of Us 2, where it was actually like genuine, whatever, people have like big gripes with that game and how it did the plot, blah blah blah, but whatever, the writing in that was so much better in regards to the progressive LGBTQ plus themes and stuff, to the point where I was like, oh, actually this is quite well done. I thought it wasn't like on the nose, it was done well, and I thought it was great for not only me, for all the people that obviously it was trying to include within that story. But then in this one, it's literally just like it's trying to make people go crazy on Twitter, because probably, I mean, that's... Oh, God. I was never going to watch it. I now want to watch it because it's so cringe.
Yeah, I kind of want to see like what's going to happen, because I know...
And that will probably generate a sale.
Yeah, and they got to realize a lot of these people watching it have never played the game. Like most of the comments are pissed because something else happened. I'm not going to spoil it if you guys don't want. I didn't watch it, but I was reading the comments last night. A big thing happens if you play the game. You know what happens in The Last of Us Part 2. But people who haven't seen it, they got pretty shocked and cried when this happened. So early too. But yeah.
Oh, one of the commenters just says, "Has anyone been watching Lazarus?" You like anime, don't you? Someone that's NoOne.
Oh yeah, a fair bit. Not too heavy, but a good amount. To be honest, some more low key ones.
Yeah. You like your One Piece, don't you?
Excuse me. Not as much as you think, considering it's in my profile pic. More so as a kid. As a kid growing up, like.
Oh, have you not watched all of it then?
Oh yeah, there's a lot I'd have to catch up on, to be honest, bro.
It's a whole lifetime's worth, isn't it? It's like thousands and thousands of episodes. Fuck me.
Not right. It's absolutely crazy. Now, I mean, the Vigilantes. It's a prequel.
Oh, I've heard of that before.
And I'm rewatching Your Lie in April.
Oh yeah, I remember that as well. Back in the day, I've always been big on it. I've always, even if I haven't watched them, like I know about. I've always been in like the anime.
No, right.
And
Same here.
The fandom, the scene, the community. I always know what the big shows are coming out. But yeah, S Weezy commented and he put, "Has anyone been watching Lazarus?" And I've not S Weezy, but I know that it's by Shinichiro Watanabe, who did Cowboy Bebop, Samurai Champloo, Space Dandy, and it's just on It's on Netflix at the minute. I think some people are saying it's really good. Some people are saying it's a bit mid, so that makes me. And whenever someone says something is either mid or the best thing ever or shit, and if something's mixed, if it gets mixed reception, I'm automatically more interested in it because polarization always intrigues me because I'm like, oh, this seems like it's trying something new. You ever get that with a film where it's like someone comes out with like, the fucking best thing I ever saw in my fucking life, and then someone says like it was literally shit, and then other people just say, oh, it was boring. That makes me so interested when stuff like that happens. So yeah, I might watch it. And Bonobo did the music for it, who is a
Ooh, I already know, bro.
yeah,
Straight fire.
Love the trip hop, love the trip hop vibes.
So yeah, I'm probably gonna have to tune into that one myself.
Yeah, get on it.
And I will continue.
What have you been watching?
Who, me?
Oh, I mean, Vivek, you, either of you.
I've been. Well, I got my girlfriend watching The Sopranos, and she's already almost done with it. Because you know what I did? I showed her Pine Barrens first, just because I think you should do that instead of the pilot, because the pilot's not as good as Pine Barrens, and she really enjoyed it. So she started watching it, and I'm like finishing it with her again. And she is on.
That's a great idea because it gives you. It's like you can just watch that. I watched that episode just off the bat randomly because it's just so fucking entertaining.
It's hilarious.
And my mates who like know of The Sopranos and shit that haven't actually taken the time to watch it, even though they know they want to, I've just shown them that one episode. Like, oh, you can watch this one like non sequitur. Like you can just watch it and not know what's going on in the wider narrative because it's so entertaining. So that's a good idea because sometimes the pilots. I mean, what is a pilot? The pilot is the rough draft, isn't it, for the rest of the show? But what was the question? Someone's known. Were you asking what TV shows we're watching?
Oh yeah, you any anime for you, bro?
Always usually watching something, but I think I've been slowing down a little bit at the minute. I've been rewatching Buffy the Vampire Slayer with my housemate. That's what I've been watching.
There you go.
Interesting.
I love it. I honestly, I loved it growing up. When I grew up, I had this. This is interesting. I had this disease, right? I had a disease called Perthes disease, and it meant that my right I think it's my femur. Yeah, my femur was like disheveled. It was like it wasn't growing. It wasn't growing along with like the rest of my body. The bone had a problem to it, and it's called Perthes disease. It's a really rare disease, and I was actually in a wheelchair for like quite a lot of my early youth, and I had to take a year off school. And I remember I got into Buffy the Vampire Slayer because my mum's mate at work, this school that she worked at back when I was like 5 or 6, she had like Buffy the Vampire Slayer on VHS, and I still have these. They look so sick. These like collector's edition VHS box sets, and I remember watching them on there. And for some reason, I was watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer as a 5-year-old in hospital, and that show gets pretty fucking intense, to be honest. And it always stuck with me. It's what really got me into like into a lot of stuff, into weird creature feature shows. It got me into Sarah Michelle Gellar, very sexy lady, and it also got me into like the more goth aesthetic of like that era, like the early 2000s new metal-y emo era. So Buffy the Vampire Slayer was always a big thing for me. So rewatching it now, it's fascinating watching it as an adult. I always love going back and watching stuff from like my childhood that I wasn't supposed to watch back then, and watching it now as an adult at the age that you're supposed to watch it, and I'm like, oh wow, this is actually even better than I remember. So that's been fun.
understand a lot more and a lot of the intents of the directors and everything.
Yeah, and you appreciate the craft more as well, don't you? Like as a,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I loved all the stuff I still love today that I consumed as a kid. I appreciated it back then, but it was more just for entertainment. But now I appreciate it as like an artistic pursuit, and I'm just analyzing so much about it. I'm not just watching it for entertainment. I'm picking apart. Oh my god, the set design, the costume, the makeup, the acting, the music, all the elements together, and it's not just about entertainment anymore. It's almost like inspiration as well. I'm like, because at some point in my life, I would like to create something. Like you said, the Trip Keeper. You're saying you'd write in a book and that. I think that's fucking amazing. I'd absolutely love to do that. I really want to make something of my own. Like, I've dabbled in it. I've dabbled in it before, but writing a whole book or making a TV show or something like that would be absolutely amazing. Or just getting involved in one would be really my dream.
Well, you know what they say, bro. Just do it.
Just fucking do it. Obviously, my dream has always been to be a voice actor. Even when I was in school, like back in the day, when they did assembly, when they asked all the kids, like, "Oh, you've got to do some presentation on what you want to be in the future," and all the kids are like, "I want to be an astronaut," and all the more like, "I want to be a tennis player." And I was like, "Well, I want to be on Family Guy." I was like, literally, my presentation was like, "I want to be Seth MacFarlane," because I just found it so like engaging, and it just astonished me. I was like, how the hell can one person do so many different voices with their own mouth? And I was never good at physical acting. Like I loved I liked drama in school, but I never could do like physical acting because I don't know, I'm like a bit autistic and a bit robotic. So I was like, okay, maybe this isn't for me. But I loved doing the voices, so I was like, oh shit, there's this thing called voice acting. So I think for me, for going back to like the question I asked you two before, like what's your plans for the future with your channel, and like I think Vivek for me, I want it to lay the foundations for eventually doing stuff like audiobook readings and voice acting, and just using my channel as like a portfolio to show someone in charge of these projects to be like, yo, I can do the stuff. Tell me what to do.
I'm sure you could do it, bro. I mean,
it's all about networking.
All you gotta do, I mean, is take the first steps. I mean, have the confidence and just put yourself out there. And like you said, build a portfolio. Even if it's small work, you start building yourself up, showing that you can do this stuff.
That's why I'd be intrigued to. I'd be intrigued to go to California and check out, because realistically, if I want to do it, I mean, realistically, my dream as a weeaboo is I would love to dub anime. I would love to be an anime voice actor, like do the dubbing. That would be insane for me. But all of that stuff is over in the US, like all the recording stuff, Funimation, and the other dubbing studios are over there. So I do want to go to the US for my own entertainment, but also for me, it would be amazing to go over because there's so many opportunities over there that I don't get. Okay, so yeah, definitely going to make plans to do that at some point.
Well, I would definitely go to New York because they got I saw NBC Studios. I saw where they filmed SNL, and this actor came out. I didn't know who the hell he was. I'm still trying to figure out who he was. But he stared at me and he looked at me while the whole crowds were there. I'm like, damn, what you looking at? So it's pretty fun. And there is a whole bunch of Asians in New York City. I mean, they all over the place. There is more Asians than Caucasians. Like, I couldn't believe it. I could not believe how many Asians I was seeing in one place. I'm not used to seeing too many in Ohio, but man, I was like, okay, this is new for me.
Interesting.
Yeah. So if you like Asians,
yeah, my mum and dad have. If you like Asians, go to New York City. My mum and dad went to, and my mum and dad went to the US. Obviously, I've never been, but yeah, they went to New York City, and they just said that was absolutely fucking crazy. And the only real comparison you could make to our country is probably London. With the people I was with, Carissa and Space Nymph and Caleb, they're in London right now because Carissa's doing a poetry show in London. She's a really big YouTuber into the witchy stuff, and yeah, I was asking them what they thought of London, and I think very much a comparative piece for London is New York, but New York seems to be on another level. But it's just like a multicultural hotspot, isn't it? It's because it's.
I ate Cuban food the first day I got there, and it was delicious.
Oh, what did you get? What's going on in there? What's going on in the Cuban?
Well, first off, they gave me this plate. I paid $15, by the way. I was like, okay, I got this plate of like rice, beans, and plantains, and then there was like a piece of chicken in the middle, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, damn, I'm pretty full. That was really good. And then they bring out the sandwich, which I forgot I ordered. And I was like, oh my God, that sandwich was so good. They had their own hot sauce I was dipping on there, man. Oh, dude, that was really, really good. Good food. Couldn't believe it.
Yeah, that sounds nice. I love plantain. Serious. That's another good thing about. I don't really like London, but what they do very well down there is exhibiting the world cuisines at the finest, and yeah, had some like it was like Argentinian food, and I had plantain, and that was pretty peng. For the past 2 weeks, I've literally just been living off haggis and black pudding in Scotland. So,
oh jeez,
yeah, literally just you know what Scottish food is like. Literally just it's just fucking meat like. And I do like my meat, but after a bit, I was like, God, I'm fucking dying. But we're not very well renowned for our food here in the UK, to be honest.
Oh, it's definitely not as processed as American food. I'll tell you that.
Oh my God, that was what was so interesting. That was what was so interesting knocking about with those three. Was it's so fascinating for me to hear their opinions on UK food and supermarkets, and like we'd go into Tesco, which is like I guess our equivalent to Walmart, sort of. It's like a Walmart type supermarket. We'd go in there, and Space Nymph, vegetarian, would get some fruit and veg, and she couldn't believe how not only cheap it was in comparison to America, but also how much higher quality it was. And I just couldn't believe that. I was like, oh my God, I can't even imagine paying more for fruit and veg and also being shit. I was like, no wonder Americans have such bad diets, because there's just so few. Well, there's no regulations on the stuff, is there? There's no regulations on like preservatives and pesticides and all the other wacky shit. Like you think, oh, I'll go into a shop and I'll buy a tomato because tomatoes are good. I was told in school that tomatoes are good for me, but it's like if you're buying the wrong tomatoes, they could be even worse beer than like processed food.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, people get like after I went to New York. Now it's still in America, but I had I didn't go to any fast food at all, and I came back after 4 or 5 days out there, and I got McDonald's. I felt like I was gonna puke. It was so terrible.
McDonald's is the worst.
Yeah, McDonald's sucks.
Yeah. Ours is definitely a lot plainer. I mean, people are obsessed with Mackey's, McDonald's in the UK, but yeah, call it Mackey's. But
I'm gonna use the bathroom, by the way. I'll be back. Hold on, you guys
worries.
Just continue going.
Yeah, when Caleb came over to when we was in our trip up in Scotland, and he was like, oh, I'm gonna do it. I'll try out the McDonald's in the UK just to say I have, to see how it compares to the US, and he was very interested to see how much plainer and less it wasn't as unhealthy as the US equivalent. I'll just put it
that's
that way.
interesting. Even
though it's still unhealthy.
Fast food, McDonald's and shit. Like,
yeah. Aren't you? Are you vegan? NoOne.
I'm pretty plant-based on 100%. It's kind of out of convenience. I'll have some, or occasionally I'll have like some sushi. So It's not like 100%, but like if I'm going to the grocery store, yeah, I'm pretty much plant based. And like what you were saying with the preservatives and all that shit, I try to avoid that shit by going organic.
Yeah, I don't blame you. I always buy organic now, especially one of my acquaintances. She's a DJ, a drum and bass DJ in the UK.
Nice.
She bought some blueberries from the shop, and we have pretty high standards on our groceries in the UK, but there's still a problem with pesticides. And she bought just like the store brand blueberries, and she was eating them, and then she flared up the next day. She had no idea of any allergies or anything beforehand, and then when she eventually got a doctor's opinion on it, he diagnosed with some allergy towards a pesticide that they use on non-organic blueberries and stuff. So now she is helping other people to just wake up to the fact that, if you're gonna buy fruit and veg, you need to buy organic, like, every time. But you forget about the money you're saving by buying the lower quality stuff. You should prioritize your health every single time.
They really don't give a fuck, these companies. Like, they're just really trying to make money like that. It's unfortunate that's the reality we live in, but it's just what we got to do. I mean, more people switch to that and are only like solely buying organic. I mean, slowly but surely, I mean, the economic incentive is to go organic for these companies. So, I mean, it really does start with us.
Yep.
Yeah, gotta join the mob of buying organic food. So if they see us not buying it, then they're gonna go more into it, or they're gonna start lying and saying it is organic, which they probably are doing too.
Yeah, that's the thing too. I mean, hopefully not, but we gotta try our best out here. Fuck that bullshit. Like,
yeah.
We don't want the bullshit.
Nope. I'd rather eat bullshit than fucking eat whatever processing out here.
Probably better for you. We got more nutrients.
Yeah, and methane. I love methane.
Yeah, I'm very lucky in the UK to have standards, I guess. To be very interesting.
Some sort at least, right?
You ever see the ingredients comparison for oatmeal in America versus the UK or some other European country? It's crazy. There's like 5 ingredients in it in the UK, and then there's like 20 in America.
I've seen something on X, I think.
Yeah,
I've seen it. Yeah, it's kind of insane.
I do now. Whenever I go shopping, I use this app. It's called Yuka. YUKA. It's got a little carrot on the app icon, and you just scan the barcode of any product, and it's not just food. It's anything. You can, like, oils and face stuff, hair stuff, everything, and it rates it based upon how many ingredients there are in it, and just all of the other bad shit. Like, I was scanning, like, I'm on it now. I went to scan this Innocent smoothie. Innocent smoothies have got these. This is what they do. This is what they do. The companies, they make the artwork on their products look like it should. It looks healthy, doesn't it? Like, oh, look, I've called it Innocent.
Packed with sugar, though, right?
Yep, that's it. And that's how they get you, don't they? They say, "Oh, I'll call it Innocent smoothie," and then you look on it, the negatives. It's too caloric. It's too sweet. It's fucking full of sugar. Like, yeah, it's got some good shit in it, but it's basically all of that's negated.
And that's the same thing with the naked smoothies too.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
You can't drink those. Yeah, I remember. I thought they were healthy when I was a kid.
Yeah, that's the thing. As I saw this, that one, these smoothies in the UK, these Innocent ones, they're seen as like the best. They're actually the worst. The naked ones are just slightly better than Innocent, but not quite as much. But the best ones you can get are called, they're just called Mockingbird Raw Press, where it's just literally what you're getting, like exactly what you're getting. Even then, that's got quite a bit of sugar in, but at least
good sugar.
You can't escape sugar. Sugar's everywhere. Sugar's a fucking drug. Sugar is basically the first drug you ever have, isn't it? Really?
Yeah. Or waking up, realizing you're alive as a baby. You guys remember that? Not me, but you just remember
when you first obtained sentience.
Yes, I think that's when I read that. It was a crazy ass time back then. I tell you what, but
I remember my first hit, the candy corn. But in a sense, though, it's a good point. Like, probably as a child, you probably your first visceral sensation was probably having your first sweet treat, wasn't it? It was like, whoa, holy shit, dopamine flaring up. What the fuck's that? And then
they have a 20 chocolate years and, milk. What?
I don't know. For me, it might have been breast milk. I'm just.
Oh yeah.
I'm just playing.
I wonder what the nutrition facts are on breast milk, because I've always wanted to try it just to see how it tastes, but like I don't want to like ask anybody, you know. But I want to know.
Did you know? In London, there's a woman. I think it's in London. I was wounded not to go and try it out. Me and Caleb was like, "Oh, we'll go and test this out just to say we have." There's a shop in London, some cafe, where the woman makes ice cream out of her own and other people's breast milk that she imports. Like she just she makes it, yeah, and then she does like different flavors of it. But it's all the milk is actually from a human breast. So that's a neat.
They have like nutrition facts.
Yeah, but like, tell me all the nutritional facts about the breast milk.
Like, how many calories? I want the sugars. Like,
I think it's real. London Breast Milk Cafe.
Well, you should try it out. Make a video.
Breast milk.
What is up, guys? We are at the It's called the Lictators. We're at the Lictators doing a breast milk trip report. A 2,000 microgram breast milk trip report. He experienced ego death immediately. Yeah, probably do that sometime.
Well, I don't know if this is true, but I looked up breast milk nutrition facts on Google, and it says it has 11 grams of fat, 2.5 grams of protein, 17 grams of sugar, 34 milligrams of cholesterol. It has 20% vitamin C too, so no fiber, but
we're eating.
Yeah, this is just for one cup.
We eating good tonight.
Yeah. I don't know if that's actual breast milk or is that like a cow's breast. You know, I can't really say, but it does say breast milk on it though, so I'll take for its word. That's just one cup.
This is the type of quality conversation you can only get on this podcast. This has been 5 months in the making, people.
Oh yeah.
Of course.
Someone said I've had an ego death from eating cheese. Not even joking.
Oh my God.
It must have been some strong ass cheese, like, you know, because some of them cheeses get fucking potent, don't they? Like,
yeah.
like
stinky, huh?
Like eating a fucking block of blue cheese in one, like that's some astral projection material.
Yeah.
Oh, I tell you what, you know when you just can't get to sleep and you're just going down rabbit holes. I went down the surströmming rabbit hole. You know that fish,
the
fermented
my gosh,
fish.
that shit is so nasty. I would never try that stuff. Oh,
and it was a massive thing on YouTube, wasn't it? And it still is, and to this day online to like buy a can of surströmming, and the smell of it alone makes people vomit.
Oh gosh.
But what I learnt about it was because I was like, okay, right, this thing exists. Clearly, people eat it. It's not just for lulz, is it? It's not just for the fucking YouTubers. Like, there's clearly a Swedish, yeah, I think Swedish, like traditional dish. And I looked up the way to get the most out of the taste. Like, you're supposed to open it outside. Leave it for a bit so that the smell like dissipates into the air. You're not supposed to be around it. So there's a whole method to eating it, and then you combine it with like other foods that might nullify the taste of it, like potatoes and bread and stuff, and you're supposed to combine it together. So it's not just for the memes. There's an actual way to eat it, and that was really fascinating. And I love going on them little rabbit holes when I can't get to sleep. I'm like, wow, my surstroming knowledge is increased by 20%. So
yeah, I don't care how you prepare it. I don't think I'd want to try it. I just
nah,
could.
Yeah, because everybody thinks like, oh, how bad can it actually be? And I'm like, there's only one way to find out. Maybe I might do like a Vivek mukbang.
Oh gosh,
mukbang side channel.
Just stuff your mouth with it nonstop. Oh, could you imagine that?
I am rather fascinated by. I mean, I eat super healthy, like in my own personal life, and I do actually prioritize eating vegetables and fruit, and I have meat to fill me up basically, but I don't really prioritize. I'm not really like a carnivore massively, but when I'm out and about in other countries, I will literally eat everything just because I'm so fascinated from like a curiosity level of like what everything tastes like, all these mad cuisines. Like
it's the culture, you got to taste it.
Yeah, in it. If I was in a restaurant and they had something crazy on the menu that might be a bit controversial over here, like I don't know, like bat or like dog, even though I wouldn't do that myself. I wouldn't hunt to eat a dog myself or a bat.
Yeah.
If I was in China, I would probably do it just out of the curiosity, because regardless of whether I ate it or not, the dog or bat is dead. Like I don't feel like I contributed to its suffering, because it was always going to get eaten anyway. That's just my like modus operandi. But yeah, I just found it really interesting. When I went to Japan, I ate this worst food I've ever eaten in my whole life that it almost made me sick. It's called natto. It's fermented soybeans. It's always got to be fermented food. That's most disgusting.
Soybeans already kind of sucks anyway, just regular soybeans.
Yeah, right.
So.
It's fucking minging. It's the worst thing I've ever eaten in my entire life. Sticky, fermented soybeans, and they taste. It tastes like beans, but really like just like eating chemicals and like iron, and it's stringy and it gets stuck in your teeth. It was absolutely disgusting. But I'm so glad I tried it, because now I know what it tastes like. It's so intriguing. I've always had that. That's even like even relating it to just like substances and everything. When I as a child, I never thought I'd grow up and do substances. I was always like really nerdy and like autistic, and didn't really have many friends and that. Just played video games, watched anime, and then it was so crazy for me getting into like substances and partying and raving and going to festivals, because I never thought I'd be able to do it. But then I realized I was reflecting on my life, and I realized I was like, well, of course I ended up veering into that, because even as a child I was always interested in trying like different parts of reality. Like I wouldn't just play a few video games, I'd play all the video games. I wouldn't just watch certain types of films, I'd watch all the films, listen to all the music. And I did that, and then eventually I was like, oh, what else is there to life? And then I finally got out of the house, and I was like, oh, there's these things called psychoactive substances. I was like, oh, let's try them all. just out of curiosity, not even out of like my whole like drug taking like pursuits has been out of fascination rather than I like it. Obviously, I like to get high, but and I enjoyed the feeling of it. But a lot of the inspiration for trying stuff was just because I wanted to see what it was like. Because the only way to really understand it is to do it, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, there's no better way. I mean, there's no amount of words we can try and tell somebody. I mean, but once you're in the actual seat of it, there's no better way, like, and for you to understand it and actually, your favorite experience is cake.
Direct experience is key, but probably my favorite experience.
Oh, okay,
No, I don't
I've been
know.
fucking with K too.
The thing is with Ket, it's just so cheap in the UK. Like you can literally get a gram for a tenner, like £10, which is like I don't know how many dollars
That's
that is.
insane.
Isn't it? Isn't it?
Wow.
That's some good stuff too.
Yes and no. It's like you could get good stuff for a tenner. You could also get bad stuff for a tenner. You just don't know who you're getting it off. But you could very easily get really good stuff. Yeah, you can get like 2 grams for almost. You can get 2 grams for 20 quid of the best off some like WhatsApp or Telegram dealer, and it'll be the best Ket you've ever had. It's absolutely abundant, and it's taking over. And I don't know if you've seen, but have you seen the new season of South Park is actually going to be dealing with one of the episodes is dealing with ketamine in the wake of Elon Musk using it. And yeah, he's like Randy's like, I'm just gonna go do some ketamine, Sharon. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, when South Park acknowledges it, that's how you know it's taking off, because it seems to be like it's like the drug of the moment, isn't it? With all these people, Matthew Perry, the RuPaul's drag race woman who had a heart attack and died of it.
Oh, wow.
She died from cardiac arrest of ketamine, which was interesting because that supported my hypothesis that ketamine and dissociatives in the vein of ketamine actually do have an effect on you.
That's what I thought was going to happen to me
system.
when I was on ketamine. I was on like 100 or 80, or I don't know how many milligrams it was, but I got 100 milligrams of it, and I did it twice, one couple hours before, but the second time I did it, I just did the rest, and man, I was just like, oh god, I maybe cardiac arrest was gonna happen. It's scary.
I think all drugs and all substances put stress on your central nervous system and heart, but I think some people get lost on the ketamine of effects of it's just all the bladder, it just fucks your bladder up. I was like, no, if you abuse that drug, it affects so many different parts of your body, so many organs, and your brain as well. And this can also be related to not just ketamine, but dissociatives in general. Like, think of how many people abuse DXM, and they get these things called like Olney's lesions. Actually covered that today in a DXM report. They get this it's like these NMDA antagonists like ketamine and DXM. They can eventually produce, they can damage like grey matter apparently over time if you're using it in excess every day. You got to do a fucking lot you got to do a fucking lot. Let's be real. But there are people who will do that, and the problem is, I don't know if DXM is similar to ketamine in this regard, but with ketamine, the tolerance is just insane. You'll get this thing called permatolerance, where like you'll never be able to go back to just doing a little bump of ketamine and being able to feel a bit wonky and a bit dissociated. It's like the bracket for feeling an effect raises the more you do it. So it's like you literally, you're raising your permatolerance, and that's dangerous because obviously you're gonna have. I've seen people at parties and raves having these huge like gram lines of ketamine, and it barely touches them because the tolerance is so high, and they're only slightly ketty off it. But the horrific downsides of that is that all of that whole gram is being processed through their fucking body, and if they're doing that on the regular, then Jesus Christ, your organs are going to take a beating. And I think that's what the world is learning now, is that this whilst ketamine is a magical drug, and it really is, it's taken me to some beautiful places and given me great insights. For some people, it can be the most. It's like, honestly, it can be as addicting as anything. Like, it can be as addicting as heroin, because if your mind is wired up for the dissociation, if that's what you've been looking for your whole life, like some people have been. Why do some people get addicted to heroin? Because they've never felt like euphoria on that level before. The gagging.
Well, in the same way in the mental connection, right? I'd say though, I mean, it depends. Heroin's probably a lot worse than the withdrawal, but it just depends on how far you fit.
Yeah.
And if you're actually doing
everyone's
heroin, drawn. Because it's just
they're all drawn to
nowadays.
Yeah, that's the other thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
That's one thing we're lucky in the UK is that I think we're obviously I know dealers do stamp on their substances and bash it with certain stuff that they shouldn't be, but we're very lucky that our stuff isn't being bashed with lethal drugs like fentanyl, and it's just like ketamine in the UK is bashed or stepped on with MSG, monosodium glutamate, which looks exactly like ketamine, and it's salty, and it tastes salty, so they bash it with that. Can't be very good for your nose.
From ketamine that I had it's horrible. I hate it so much. I do not. It tasted so bad.
It ain't the worst trip ever.
I was trying to choose.
I gotta say,
oh gosh,
I don't love it, but having just used it for so long, you just get used to it. What I do hate though, the worst trip of all time, has got to be MDMA, snorted MDMA. That is absolutely.
I've never done.
For me, that's the most
like a motherfucker.
For me, that's the most horrific because not only does it hurt, the taste of MDMA is absolutely just disgusting. The most disgusting thing I've ever tasted. I was going on about natto, them fermented soybeans, as being the worst thing I've ever tasted. Nah, MDMA is the worst thing I've ever tasted. Like for me, if you wanted to really torture me, you'd make me eat a bowl of MDMA.
Oh my gosh!
Just that eating it, that was fucking horrific. Like I genuinely, ketamine is on the lower end for me. But
have you tried snorting 2CB?
Yeah, I've heard that's the worst.
Oh really? I think you can get the thing with insufflation is sometimes you get lucky and you don't get any postnasal drip. Do you? If you get like maximum absorption, because you can sniff lines inefficiently or efficiently. You should always like stretch your lines out as long and thin as possible, and it's also just better for your body as well because like you're not clogging your mucous membranes as much. You're not having to swallow it, and it supposedly if it's all getting absorbed, it doesn't. It gets filtered through your body better. But regardless, yeah, even just the snorting of 2CB was pretty horrific in and of itself. But I didn't taste it, so I guess I got lucky.
For me, yeah, I feel like someone stuck a fucking knife in my nose.
Ooh. Yeah. I've had that before from ketamine. Like when I've had some lines of ketamine, and especially in your nostril where you don't usually insufflate it from, and like I'd have it in there, and then it had shot a fucking desert eagle through my nostril into the fucking like cerebral cortex.
Literally Mike Tyson, like, fucking punched the back of my nose or some shit, like.
Definitely wakes you up. I tell you what, if you want to wake up, if you wake up and you're feeling a bit groggy, sniffing a line of something is definitely gonna wake you up. You're like, whoa, I'm fucking back.
That's why I like taking it in a capsule. That is the best thing. I just cannot. From what I've heard, that someone said not 2CB is by far the worst thing to insufflate. So yeah, there's that's what I always heard on from drug users. They always say it's the worst thing to snort. So it's like, why would you snort it then? I know it's gonna hit you quicker, but I don't know. I like extended release stuff. I don't like instant release anything. I just want to.
That's the thing with That's the thing with ketamine. You can't consume ketamine orally. I mean, you can, but it's a waste, isn't it? You'd have to take an extensive amount more, like to actually feel anything.
1 billion grams.
Oh, here's a question. Have you two ever boofed or plugged anything before?
Nope, not me.
I'm planning on it.
Go on, lad.
Yeah, I've been thinking. I've never done it, but I want to try with MDMA at least. See how it goes.
I mean, on a level though, it is actually probably the most effective way to consume substances. Like rectally administering them. Like there's like very little loss. The nerve endings in like your ass are a lot more. They're a lot more potent, aren't they? I guess. So and you got like deeper your blood vessels are closer to your skin and just so many other variables that allow yourself to absorb more of the substance. And I know a lot of like veteran psychonauts will consume like psychedelics rectally to get the most out of the effects, and also just I don't think it's as damaging, is it? Like imagine like sniffing and smoking anything, and even maybe orally, probably going to do a little bit of damage and have a bit of nausea and feel more sick. Like if you
I don't know if there's research on it like that, to be honest, but.
Is it not? But I would just on a subjective level of just the feeling, I would say that maybe just putting MDMA up your bum is not going to feel as sickly as snorting it or taking it orally.
I just feel like anything wouldn't feel as sickly just in that way.
Yeah, just feels a lot more direct.
I'm just not into butt stuff regardless, so I can't do that shit.
I think there's a few reports on ketamine when you take it rectally, it's slightly less unhealthy than consuming it via your nasal cavities, because I don't think it has to travel through as many organs, I believe. This is the thing. All of these studies that I read and all the reports, this is in the infancy of understanding these substances. There needs to be way more fucking studies. There needs to be way more research on it, because like there's so much we don't fucking understand what these substances are doing to us.
Right.
And also
that's why we're here,
that's
baby.
What you're getting. Yeah, this is what we do.
Yeah, I mean we're here to spread that awareness.
Yeah, there's
and I'm learning as well.
Right, we're all learning. There's an opioid that, if injected into your spine, or spinal cord, whatever spinal area, it is 1,000,000 times more potent than morphine. It regularly, like orally or snorting, it's not that powerful, but for some reason, injecting it in that area, it's like 1,000,000. It says literally 1,000,000 times stronger. So I can't imagine how
they just feel. Die.
Yeah, you probably would just die, but I'm sure it's probably like the best feeling ever when you go die.
I mean, you feel like you're going to heaven, literally.
Yeah,
instant death.
That's what they should call it. All right, guys, I'm gonna say at 8:00, 8:00 Eastern, when we should go. So 7 more minutes we'll have on here, guys, or like
should we do
close to it at least.
Should we do some spitfire questions from the audience?
Let's see. Let's see if there's any questions. If you guys want a question answered, please leave it now, as the 3 of us won't be back until next May. No, I'm kidding. But if that does happen, I wouldn't be surprised. But
in May 2040.
Oh gosh, we just keep going every single year.
Oh jeez.
And then we'll be talking about super drugs.
Yes, ketamine 1000.
We're talking about robots taking drugs by them.
Yeah.
Yeah, for real.
Do you think that'll happen in the future?
Hey, Ghost in the Shell, right?
Yeah, it's like, yeah, that would be. That'd be a great fucking sci-fi story you could make about robot people, and then they end up making like robo drugs, and then they start experiencing all the problems that humans do using human drugs.
And they end up getting emotion or some shit, and
is that Stone Ape theory?
They become useless
like this
in our society.
Yeah. They get doped up and shit. Or you could do like the stoned ape instead. It's like the stone robot theory or something, where
gosh.
Like they could take like some fucking like post synthetic psychedelic that induces like sentience in them, and then
like a neurochemical nanochip or something. Like the chip is implanted with like how a drug experience is supposed to be. Like, oh, they put salvia on this nanochip. Let's see what the robot does. Yeah.
This oh my god, right? This is a funny little story. While people are asking questions, this dealer I used to buy off about 5 years ago. He was the best. He had all the stuff. He was pure quality. He was a drug dealing connoisseur. He cared about like the quality of his products. But he was a bit of a troll, and he added me on Facebook, and I was interested to see like what it was like. And he was always really funny. He was a bit of a troll. He was a bit like conspiracy nut as well, a bit like a tinfoil hat wearer. But he was also a really interesting guy, and he was sound. But on his Facebook, he used to just like troll people into, and it really worked on me one time. He put this post and he was like, "Oh, I've invented a device that can simulate the effects of every drug by wiring it into my veins," and it was him with like this. It looked like a fucking like a DJ kit with all these dials and different keys and everything. And then there was this wire, and it was going into his like skin, and it was like, "Oh, I've managed to manipulate the electromagnetic currents of this receiver to induce the effects of MDMA in my brain."
Oh, wow.
And I almost believed it. But and then when I asked him about it, I was like, what was going on with that? Is like, "Oh, just like taking the piss and letting people believe like bollocks on Facebook." But then it got me thinking. I was like, "Whoa, what you could? That's like something possibly in the future they could possibly do to that." Because you think about drugs, like what are they doing? They're activating like latent parts of your brain, aren't they? What is MDMA doing? It's allowing serotonin to release, isn't it? Like it's a tool to allow your brain to create the experience, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So.
It is.
Who's to say that some computer in the future couldn't, like, you could literally inject yourself into the computer or plug it into the back of your head, and then it was like, "Oh, induce DMT or induce ketamine."
You can at least
all
VR
those
virtual reality with it. And I feel like that's definitely going to happen. But yeah, we'll see about that. That's pretty interesting to think about.
I don't know. I think virtual reality will have its limits when we compare it to DMT, 5-MeO.
Well, yeah, it's not going to be the same, but yeah, salvia.
It'll try.
Yeah,
it'll try to induce the shallowest levels of the experience beyond the like the mystical, metaphysical profundity. It'll try and it'll give you a glimmer, won't it? I've done many of these VR meditation sessions. There's a great place where I live called Reset Mind, Body and Soul, and it does like sensory deprivation tanks. And one of the things they've just introduced is VR meditation, and it's basically just simulating like fractals in a VR space, and it definitely allows you to meditate a lot more. And I imagine if you did do it for a long time, I mean, you'd have to sit on it for like fucking ages, like do a hardcore meditation experience. You could probably induce some form of like mystical experience, but not on the level of taking 5-MeO DMT. That's just like, yeah, like you say, NoOne. I think there's a brick wall with VR in that respect.
Oh, of course, at some point, I feel because these substances and just how universal they are and how they get. How existential. I mean, there's going to be some type of limit, I feel like.
Yeah. Well, let's answer.
There's a question here.
Yeah. Are you seeing the Salvio versus Datura one? I definitely think Datura is probably worse, but you guys can go ahead.
Datura definitely, like, at least with Salvia, I've actually used Salvia before, though, so I guess I can vouch for the fact that if you do just do a tiny little bit of it, it can be quite funny. But I just could never ever do Datura, and at least with Salvia, there's like an amusing aspect to like a low dose experience for me. But with Datura, like, I have no interest in feeling I have no interest in consciously making myself feel uncomfortable. So yeah, fuck that.
Yeah. What do you think?
For me, I have tried both. The tour was a fucked up night because I thought it wasn't working. Then it was working, but by the time like it actually hit, I took like 600 milligrams, I think, of DXM.
Oh, jeez.
So like, and we were in a fucking hotel, like a shitty ass one the whole night, like, and just like, we had instances of our friends coming through, like, all night, like coming in and out of the hotel pretty much. And like sometimes they would be there, sometimes they wouldn't. And like I would just trip and like basically like think they were there the whole time, and I was actually partying the whole time and thinking it was cool. But that just to later find out like a lot. So like it wasn't really like good in a sense because I also felt super dehydrated and just like this is unhealthy. So like, and then compared to salvia, I mean, salvia, like you said, it could be funny at low doses and stuff, but like once you get into that more like, all right, I'm tripping and shit, it can get really like this kind of fucked up, like in a delirious way. And that doesn't mean I won't go back to it though. Datura, I'm not going back to. Fuck that shit.
So Datura is everyone's choice. Yeah, I would think so. I never tried either.
Xander Grits asked us if we'd had any synthetic marijuana experiences, any strong experiences.
Not consensually, but maybe.
No, me neither.
Yeah, I can't tell. I feel like there was this one time I felt like I did it, but I'm not sure. So I don't know. My vision started was black and white. It looked like a TV static screen, and I could see, but then it slowly everything turned into fuzz like that, and then I went blind for like 5 minutes or so, and I was freaking out, and then I finally came back. So I don't know if that was synthetic weed or not, but if anything, that had to be the closest to it.
Yeah, maybe. It sounds like it could have been.
Yeah, it was scary. I thought I was gonna lose my vision forever.
Terrific.
The closest I've maybe had was like maybe what a vitamin E cart, and I kind of knew it was, and just felt it like in my lungs almost, and I just kind of like, all right, after like 2-3 hits, I knew this shit was bullshit. Like, well, just a random old friend gave it to me out of nowhere, so like, and I could just tell like it was like darker and shit, so I was like, fuck this shit. But I mean, I'm a synthetic cannabinoid just out of interest, like in the controlled dosage, just to see what it would actually be like. But I mean, at the same time, you hear a ton of fucking horror stories on them and how it can be terrifying.
Yeah, it's not very nice. I've never actually consciously wanted to experience it, but I've been with people. People at parties and festivals who have offered me a joint, and I've just smoked it thinking, oh, this weed tastes a bit whack. It's probably just some shrap, some cheesy buds they found on the street. But nah, it was actually... then quickly found that I started tripping. I was at this festival called Kendall Calling, and was with these two lovely people. There was hippies, and I thought, oh, they've got a joint. They're hippies. It's cannabis. And then 5 minutes later, I was just like you say, I was almost like going blind, like having like blackouts, and having like some really bizarre like hallucinatory experiences, and feeling very physically wrong. Just there was this overwhelming sense of wrongness to just in my mind and my state of being, and the intense paranoia and thought loops and delusions, even veering into like the worst of the bad trip territory. And then another time was at this party, and they told me after there's like these chavs, these like roadmen, like sort of ghetto people in the UK. They couldn't. It was this big thing to buy like synthetic weed for some reason, because it got you more fucked up than like usual cannabis, and they couldn't really get other drugs, so it was like their window into like other drugs. So they got this thing called like Cherry Bomb, and it was like a synthetic marijuana brand, and yeah, I remember having that, and I remember my vision, like it was like the pixel density of my vision reduced like to like 480p from like 4K, and everything just got like really blurry and like pixelated, almost like I could see pixels in my field of vision, like a zoomed in JPEG that becomes blurrier and blurrier. And I was like, why the fuck do people want to do this?
Yes.
It's kind of fucked.
Yeah, it sounds terrible.
Some people just really want to get messed up though, don't they? Cause
I mean, it's just a cheap replacement, right?
Yeah.
Some people just really want to feel something, don't they? Even if they feel horrible, at least they're feeling something. It like gives them like a sense of meaning, I guess, in a twisted sense.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, or if you're getting drug tested, something like that.
Oh yeah, and that as well.
That's another reason I hear some people will try it at least.
Yeah.
Nothing will make me want to try it. I'll tell you that.
No.
Yeah.
I don't like that shit.
Maybe back in high school I would do some stupid shit like that, but not.
Yeah. no, I'm a
Yeah,
responsible.
like I said, I would only try it if it's like I know what it is 100%. I'm doing it like for an educational purpose, just to see and experiment. Just because I do have that psychotic, like, all right, drive to it, where like I kind of do, even if it is a little fucked up, but I will do it, like I said, and just with that safety in mind.
Yeah, and also there's the element of trying it to then tell your your audience about it in a sense, like, yo, I tried this, to actually experience it and tell you why not to do it, because I've actually experienced it myself. I talk about synthetic marijuana when I can on the channel, and oftentimes relate to my own experiences. I'm like, you think it's a good idea, you think, oh, it's cheaper than weed, or maybe it's I can't get psychedelic and I want to have some intense experience, I'll just do this. And I'm like, no, as I can actually give you better advice having done it myself. Not because I wanted to do it to get fucked up, because I wanted to do it to prove to use that you shouldn't, because I just think
it just goes down to the psychotic, your tools and just what you're able to, understand. Like we were saying, like there's no better way to understand the experience than actually being in it yourself.
Yep. Go get into the depths.
Okay, guys, that was a good episode. Tripsters podcast episode 20. Thank you so much for someone that's known to come on. Hopefully we can do
more. We are so back.
Yeah, we are back. A couple months from now.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you'll have to come on regularly. NoOne, definitely. Whenever you're up for coming, I mean, we're already in the Snapchat group anyway. Whenever you're up for coming on with us, it would be awesome. Like,
I mean, I'm down, guys. I mean, let me know when the next one is. If I'm free, I'm down.
And vice versa. If you want to get us on your, I know you was talking about wanting to do get your podcast started up again.
Yeah, I actually just recorded one comeback episode, so I'm gonna get that going here. I'd love to have you guys on.
Yes, that'd be great. That'd be brilliant.
All right, guys.
Well,
oh yeah.
All right, we'll see you all later, trip bugs. That's what my girlfriend told me to call my viewers. So
I like that.
I'll see you, trip bugs.
Hey, peace out. Go Nuggets.